WWE's biggest superstars are calling for reinforcements. Survivor Series takes place in San Diego with two blockbuster War Games matches. CM Punk, AJ Lee, Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, and Brock Lesnar are among the main event stars taking part. The War Games format returns to Survivor Series for the fourth consecutive year. This year, WWE's top stars put their differences aside to form unlikely alliances for the match beyond. The Vision replaced Seth Rollins with Logan Paul, then bolstered their ranks with Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and the Usos responded by bringing Roman Reigns into the fold. On the women's side, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch were late additions, bringing the tally of former women's world champions in their match to 8. Survivor Series also hosts John Cena's final pay-per-view match. Cena, the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, finally became a Grand Slam champion by defeating Dominic Mysterio for the one title that eluded him for 2 decades. Former champion Mysterio gets his rematch after a lengthy run with the title. With so many big matches set for the event, let's take a look at what we think will happen when the action goes down in San Diego tomorrow night. Hey there, welcome everybody to this very special edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. I am your host, Anthony Florio. I am joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock. I know you all came here for the NFL. Don't worry, you're gonna get our NFL stuff in just a little bit. But because of the fact that we had to cancel Ridiculously Raw this past week because of commitments and circumstances beyond our control, we had no other place to put it because we had our football feast on Wednesday, and obviously yesterday, with yesterday being Thanksgiving, and with Survivor Series being tomorrow night, we felt that this was the only place we could do it. So we're going to try to get through this part of it as quickly as we can, and then we will get into the NFL coverage for this week. So with that being said, let's dive on in to our predictions for Survivor Series. Survivor Series will be live tomorrow night from Petco Park in San Diego, California, streaming exclusively on the ESPN Unlimited app here in the United States, and of course Netflix internationally, and also traditional pay-per-view as well. And I'm going to do the 2 championship matches, and then we'll do the 2 War Games matches. I think it's only fair. So we're going to start it off. Women's World Championship on the line. The champion, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, defending against WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella's sole purpose here is name recognition. She's a semi-retired part-time act coming off a tough return against Becky Lynch. By contrast, Vaquer is a talented full-time act with potential to become a major star for the company, and beating a WWE Hall of Famer will be a great feather in Vaquer's cap. I am going to go with the winner and still the Women's World Champion, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. Not much more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. Stephanie Vaquer, Nikki Bella, Women's World Championship tomorrow night in San Diego. Your thoughts?
If there was ever a time for Stephanie to win, this is the moment. I know a lot of people were talking about that, in the last few weeks, some people's been criticizing her run as the champion, and they kind of felt like going in here that with Stephanie possibly losing would have been a big letdown here. But I kind of feel like at the end of the day, Stephanie should be able to overcome the odds, and I do believe she'll win it. So yeah, I got Vaquer winning the match and successfully defending the title. So yeah, I really got nothing more to say. So it's yours, Anthony. Michael Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, I gotta go with Stephanie Vaquer in this one. I mean, the momentum it's been there for her up to this point, and I mean, it would make absolutely zero sense for her to drop the title to Nikki Bella, and think about it. I mean, can you imagine what would happen if WWE somehow, some way has her drop the title to Nikki Bella? You thought the backlash she got in Boston was bad? that'll be nothing compared to what it'll be like in front of that big crowd in San Diego. And it would literally kill the momentum of Stephanie Vauquier, and to the point that all three of us agreed that if this were to happen, then Tiffany Stratton would be the new front runner for Female Wrestler of the Year. But I don't see that happening. I just don't see it any way whatsoever. I got to go with Stephanie Vauquier to retain the Women's World Championship. So nothing more to say, Florio. Let's get on to the Intercontinental Championship match.
Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion, John Cena, defending the title against the challenger and the former Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, who we took the title from, in his hometown of Boston, back on the 10th of this month. Dirty Dominic Mysterio, also the reigning and defending AAA Mega Campeon. So, MF, you've been the biggest Cena guy out of all of us here. It's only fitting you lead off on this. John Cena's final pay-per-view match, and then that god-awful segment we saw on Monday night with that mini Cena.
Yeah, but it was fair because of the fact that we don't get a booking 101. We can't say that it was a booking 101, so we're going in kind of blind on it. Yeah, any other time you would say Cena's probably going over. But here's the problem. Cena, you won the belt in your own hometown. This time around, the shoe's on the other foot. You're going to Dom's house. You're going to San Diego. And this is the night Dom regains the Intercontinental title. I know a lot of people have actually been calling this as well. And I am with them, and I am with the majority. With Cena's run, with Cena winding down his career, he doesn't need the Intercontinental title anymore. He got his magical moment when he won the title in Boston. It's time for him to drop the belt so that we could start to get ready for the ultimate goodbye that's going to be in Washington, D.C. on the 13th. So for me, it would be fair and even probably a good idea to have Cena drop the belt here, have Dom walk off with the title, continue his run as the double champion, because sooner or later, there's going to be a moment where Dom is going to be a Judgment Day implosion, or somebody's going to get Dom to take the Intercontinental title away from him at some point. But in order to set this whole thing up, Cena needs to lose this belt tomorrow night. And I know a lot of people is like, no. So, look, it's fair. John got his moment in Boston when he became the Intercontinental champion. I think it's fair enough that Dom gets the moment back. He gets the belt back. Now, could that be from screwing John Cena over, backdoor win? Absolutely. They want to create a negative. They want to create a narrative enough to try to create some negative heat on Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Because if you notice, in the last few months, Dom was getting cheered. And I will also say this. Wrestling Observer, PW Insider, and ESPN themselves has ranked Dirty Dominic Mysterio the #1 wrestler under the age of 30. Now, let me preface that. That is better than any wrestler, New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA, and all the brands of WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AAA. Dominic Mysterio is numero uno, #1. And I'm going to say it, they got it right. Dominic Mysterio is without a doubt the brightest young star in WWE today. There's only maybe 2 other guys that I could see that could become the face of WWE in the very near future, besides Dominic Mysterio. You want to know who those two are? Braun Breaker and Obafemi. And you can fight me on that one if you want. And I guarantee you, you will lose that argument with me. Those are your pillars of WWE. You know, about a year or so ago, they had the 4 pillars of AEW. Well, the 4 pillars, or the pillars of WWE and the future, once the CM Punks are gone, once the Roman Reigns are gone, once the John Cena's are gone, once the Triple H's are gone, those pillars are going to be Braun Breaker, Obafemi, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Dom wins the title. He regains the Intercontinental Championship tomorrow night at Survivor Series. And a quotation and a statement, period, in my mind. Bullock, it's yours.
Oh, my brother. Oh, testify. Oh, man. And I'll say it right here, folks. When Fletcher makes a statement like that, you can take that to the bank. And he just took that one to the bank. Big time. Fletch, you said you want anybody to argue with you? Well, you can literally count me out, because after everything you just said, I can't disagree with you on it at all. And I'm sure Florio can vouch for that as well. So I've been going back and forth with this. I mean, but at the end of the day, now that I think of it, and especially throughout today, I have to agree. I think Dominic is going to retain or regain the Intercontinental Championship, and I don't think he's going to do it cleanly because, and you even said it, Fletch, lately he's been starting to be that heel that everybody wants to hate. And the best way to do it is to have him steal the title, or basically have members of the Judgment Day help him. So, because remember, this is John Cena's final PLE event. And the best way to get even more heat on Dom is if he cheats to regain the regain the title, I should say. So, and the other thing, after this, John Cena only has 1 match left. Does he really need the Intercontinental Championship? I don't think so. I mean, look. It's good that he finally got the moment, that he finally got the one title that has eluded him. But I don't think he's going to have it for long. So, winner and new Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio. And there's really nothing more to say, so it's yours, Florio.
I'm going to make it unanimous. I see, and it's exactly what Bullock just said. I see no reason for John Cena to win this match. The win over Dominic was more of a career achievement award, allowing Cena to win the one title he had never held and become a Grand Slam champion. But Cena does not need the belt heading into his final match. And Mysterio holding a win over Cena would be perfect for Dom's character. He would be so obnoxious about defeating Cena that it would be a staple talking point in his promos for at least a year. That alone is a good enough reason for Dominic to get the win. Sometimes the decision is as simple as what benefits the promotion moving forward. Winner,
and to get the heat, and to despise him again.
Exactly, Bullock. Exactly. Winner, and once again, the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. MF, I'm going to bring you on in here because you are the Gorilla Monsoon, our voice here. Because as we all know, coming up next is now War Games, the match beyond. You know the rules. You know the rules, MF. How does it go?
Yeah, tell the viewers.
All right.
Yeah, tell the viewers, those that are listening for the first time, what the rules of War Games is.
Do it, Monsoon.
Well, all right. Well, here it goes. War Game starts out with 2 individuals. The remaining 4 members that will be in the match will be locked in shark cages at the point at the top of the rampway, or because this is a baseball field, they're going to be designated into like 2 bullpen type shark cages. So they'll be on the side. The first round of the War Games lasts 5 minutes long. Now, in the case of the War Games, in the men's and the women's, there was an advantage match that were held. One on Monday Night Raw, one was held tonight on SmackDown Live. The winners of those matches will basically get to send their second person out, whoever that may be. Now, subsequently, the winner of the advantage match will have a 2-on-1 break. However, that will only last for 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes, the loser of the advantage match gets to send out their second member. That'll be 2-on-2. They will alternate between the 2 until all 10 people are in the cage. Then the War Games truly begin, and we go into the match beyond. Now, traditionally, back in the old War Games, you could only win this by submission or surrender. However, in this version of War Games, the WWE version of War Games, you can win it by pinfall or submission. And one other added noted that has never been addressed, if any person decides to basically escape the cage or run out, you automatically forfeit the match and the fight is over. That was one rule that was never addressed, but needs to be addressed at some point. If somebody decides to go out of the cage and give up, it's an automatic forfeiture and it is all over. Weapons can be used at any time during the War Games and is always guaranteed in the War Games match. There are no disqualifications, no countouts in War Games. You can only win it by pinfall or submission. And then there's that added bonus, Anthony, that if somebody decides to escape the cage at any point, then the match is forfeited. There it is. There are your rules for the War Games.
Well done, Monsoon. Well done. All right. First up, the women's War Games match. On one team, you have AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley. On the opposing side, it is Becky Lynch, Lash Legend, Nia Jax, and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Earlier tonight on Friday Night SmackDown, which was a taped show, by the way, we had the Women's War Games Advantage match. It was Charlotte Flair squaring off against Asuka. And just like at WrestleMania 34, Charlotte Flair won the match. So Charlotte Flair basically earned the power play advantage for her team. So the face team will have the one-woman advantage at those regularly timed intervals throughout this bout. So that's the story there. Michael Bullock, we're going to start it off with you. Women's War Games. Who you got?
Yeah, this ought to be really good. I mean, obviously, a lot of bad blood when it comes to both sides. I mean, the one thing I'm going to be interesting to see is, of course, as always, and Florio, you should know this, of course, whenever Io Sky is in the Women's War Games match, you know that trash can's going to be coming out at some point.
Who will ever forget what you did 2 years ago in Chicago?
Oh my goodness, that was freaking insane. And don't be surprised if she pulls off something like that again in this War Games match. I mean, obviously, with this, after what we saw with the advantage, I know some people would say, "Oh, the heel team should win this one," but I'm actually going to go with the face team to win this War Games match of Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee. So the thing is, I mean, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. So Oreo, it is yours. So who you got?
Well, I think I got to go with the face team here in the women's War Games match. No one on Becky Lynch's team desperately needs a win, so it's hard to picture them edging out the fan favorites. AJ Lee's team also has more main event stars, meaning one or two of them can parlay a victory into a world title program on Raw or SmackDown. I am going to go with the face team to win as well. I'm going with AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. And the main reason being, MF, as I give it to you, I think we're all in agreement here. This is perhaps the greatest Survivor Series women's team, whether it's War Games or the classic traditional Survivor Series elimination matches. This is the greatest women's team I have ever seen in all these years of Survivor Series. Look at the accolades between these 5 women alone.
Oh no, let alone, yeah. I've heard a lot of rumors about this one. The only way I think the face team loses the War Games is if somebody turns. Now, I've heard rumors of Charlotte Flair betraying the team, and one person actually told me lately that he heard a rumor about possibly Alexa Bliss turning at the War Games. So you start looking at, and then you start thinking, okay, if they betray, who gets the win on the women's side? Who gets that moment in the spotlight? Who gets the victory in the War Games that would set up down the line? The one person that I've been hearing that would get the win would be Becky Lynch. This would be the ultimate comeback story for her, a redemption arc that sets her up to possibly go after the women's intercontinental title again. Now you're wondering, okay, wait a minute. Then who eats the pin if it's that case? The one person that you could see that could legitimately eat the pin in the face squad would most likely be Alexa. Because you're not going to do it on Io. Rhea is too indestructible. And you're not going to give it to AJ Lee. You're not going to let AJ take the fall here. Now, Charlotte could, and Charlotte would be fine. And I think fans will understand. Alexa would be the closest one and probably the best choice to eat the pin here and lose. But that's if they want to go that route. But honestly, truthfully, I don't see it happening. I truly agree that I think the face squad is going to win the War Games. But this is the one where I believe that, honestly, I think it's either going to be AJ Lee or Rhea to get the win. And I hate to say it, but I think Kairi Sane is going to be the one that's going to eat the fall. I think Kairi will be the one that's going to end up losing the match at the War Games for the women. So that's just my personal thought. So, Anthony, we're in an agreement. Face Squad wins the women's War Games. On to the men.
The main event of War Games, or should I say Survivor Series, it is the men's War Games match. You thought we had a great face team on the women's side? How about the face team on the men's side? World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. Undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The original Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And perhaps the greatest tag team in this modern era today, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, squaring off against The Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and the alpha male of our species, the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. I am worried that WWE will lean on its classic playbook. Brock Lesnar comes, Brock Lesnar smashes, Brock Lesnar leaves. The company's booking philosophy suggests that Brock Lesnar will be the last to enter the fray. He's the biggest star among the Vision's team, and his matches are typically short. The Vision's success in elevating its members is up for debate, but they definitely benefit from a win more than the face team does. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes are essentially bulletproof. The Vision and Drew McIntyre specifically are overdue for a win. I've even heard some rumors about possibly a certain Apex Predator showing up. And this could finally be the moment where Randy Orton could come into this match and finally turn on Cody Rhodes. I know MF has been begging for it. Well, MF, it could happen as early as tomorrow night from some rumors I've been reading. And I've also, and according to that rumor roundup sheet that I read on Kate's Side Seats, they even suggested that some of the events of this particular match could possibly could go a long way into determining possibly the main event for WrestleMania. And they're saying and that rumor site also said that the possibility of that WrestleMania main event, that the main event itself would be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. I could see it. I really could. So I'm going to take I know the safe choice would be to go with the babyface team because 9 times out of 10, the babyface team almost always wins these matches. It's very rare that the heel team wins. The last time I can recall it was the Bloodline in 2022 in Boston. Sami Zayn with Kevin Owens there, as we all remember. But I'm going to take a chance here. I'm actually going to go with the heel team to win this match. I'm going with the Vision to win this match. We could have an implosion with Punk and Roman, which would set up the WrestleMania rumored main event that I just threw out there. That's a very realistic possibility. Or it could also be because of Randy Orton finally turning on Cody Rhodes. And oh, God forbid it. And I've even heard that we could have that the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania would be Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. And I know how much MF would love that. Vision wins, but would I be surprised if the face team wins? Absolutely not. And this has, and with the talent involved here, there is potential for this to possibly be the greatest War Games match of all time. 1992 Wrestle War WCW Sting Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance. Many people have gone on to state that was the greatest War Games match ever produced. 5-star ratings I've come across for that match. This has the potential to be 5-2. So, Vision wins. And oh boy, if Orton shows up and attacks Cody, MF's going to be snickering like a Cheshire cat. I know that. So, we'll see what happens. Now, keep in mind, they're rumors. Read into them what you will, and that's it. Give me the Vision to win. MF, very tough to call, but your thoughts after all that I just laid out.
I don't think it's as tough as to call as you thought, Anthony. I am in agreement. I think the Vision wins the War Games, but I think you're going the wrong direction. I don't think Orton's gonna show up yet. I don't think it's time for Randy to Viper strike Cody. I think it will eventually happen, but I am thinking more like Royal Rumble somewhere, because I do believe the Orton versus Cody at WrestleMania is very possible. I do believe that that could be the direction. However, I think you're looking at the wrong person. You should be looking at the Usos right now, because they are the one, and mainly Jay. Jay is the one that has been acting a little off kilter lately. You know, he's been the one that's on the edge. You remember he lost that key fight that cost them the right to got the power play, because, oh, by the way, the Vision has the advantage going into War Games, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I am sorry I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Drew, that was this past Monday night on Raw. It was Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre versus the Usos, and it was Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre winning the match, so the Vision has the power play.
So, with that going on, Roman's going to get into the head of Jay. Like, you know, you did this to us. You put us in this predicament. Jay is going to snap, and he is going to take out everybody in sight. Meaning, he's going to take out Roman, Punk, Cody, and his own brother. And it's going to cost them the War Games. That is going to be the ultimate payoff. The minute we've been saying that, I've been waiting for the moment for Jey Uso to turn heel, despite what you want, despite what Michael Bullock wants, despite what you were asking for, Anthony Floyo, because you're like, he's the most over guy in WWE. Well, it's time for that to end and die at Survivor Series. So that is my thing. And oh, by the way, just to let you know, just to add a little extra caveat, Drew McIntyre gets the win on the match. He's going to pin Cody Rhodes. Yes, I said it. Cody's going to eat the pin by Drew McIntyre, thanks to the help of Jey Uso going nuclear heel. That's the only way Cody takes the fall here, is because of a betrayal. So that will set up Drew versus Cody for WrestleMania. Well, Drew versus Cody one more time for the title. That is when Orton strikes and screws Cody over, because I believe, in my heart of hearts, Drew McIntyre's going to WrestleMania as the WWE champion. Cody doesn't need to be the champion to face off Randy Orton at WrestleMania. You don't need the belt for this fight, folks. This story can do it without the belt. Bold prediction on that. Nothing more to say, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Wow. I don't even know what to say after what Fletch. I mean, Fletch is on a roll with some of the things he said tonight. I mean, my goodness. But I'm gonna go with the Vision to win this one as well. I mean, but man, I mean, I really don't know what else is there to say. I really can't. I mean, Florio. I mean, before we get to the NFL, I mean, what are your thoughts on what Fletch just dropped on us?
Well, I mean, he's got a valid point. I mean, Jey Uso, we have seen it. I mean, maybe not as much lately, but he did tease it. He had been teasing it for quite some time, and
maybe they're waiting for a big event like maybe Survivor Series to finally do it.
Well, we always get some sort of wacky finish to one of these PLEs, and that would be on the wacky side. So,
that would be on the ultimate wacky side if that happens.
And the thing is that we have seen major turns during a War Games fight. You remember
go back
when
to the-
Dakota
and go back
Kai
to the
beat
first-
the living daylights out of Tegan Knox in the War Games fight?
Oh, yes. 19.
and going back to the first year of the War Games at Survivor Series. When remember we were all
Sami
wondering
Zayn.
what Sami Zayn was going to do.
And then
We
Sammy
all
went
were
after
thinking-
Kevin Owens.
Instead, he went after Kevin Owens and literally proved his allegiance to the bloodline.
Until the Royal Rumble, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But
So we'll see.
We
See
shall.
what happens.
we shall. All right. So with all that, it's NFL time, boys. And oh my goodness, what in the world happened on Thanksgiving yesterday? Wow. Okay. In the first game, we saw the Green Bay Packers defeat the Detroit Lions 31-24. The second game, the game of the day, the Dallas Cowboys upsetting the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, led the Bengals into Baltimore. And they had their way with the Ravens 32-14. And then earlier this afternoon, Black Friday, our game of the week. Gentlemen, I think it's high time we put some respect on the name of the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears went into Philadelphia and upset the Super Bowl champs in their house 24-15 with not one, but two 100-yard rushers in DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. The pigskin pick'ems have not been good to me. I cannot believe I'm 0-4 on the week. But then again, maybe I think we all can say we're 0-4 this week. Because I'm pretty certain that well, except for MF, because MF had Green Bay over Detroit. So credit one to MF there. But I think we all had Kansas City over Dallas. I know we all had Baltimore over Cincinnati. And I'm almost certain we all had Chicago defeating, or I should say, we all had Philadelphia knocking off Chicago. Upsets can happen on at any team, any given week can be beaten on any given day. And we saw that. Lions are in trouble. They're on the outside looking in. They dropped to 7-5. And the two, well, all those teams were big winners. But I think the two biggest winners, you can make an argument, were Chicago and Green Bay. Oh, by the way, Chicago and Green Bay next week. And we're going to preview that on this program next week. The Bears and the Packers. Sole possession of first place in the NFC North to the winner. That's how big that is. That's the NFC game of the week. I think it's on Fox, so they get it. We can't touch that one. So, man. But Dallas, huge win for Dallas. Now Dallas is breathing down Philly's neck. It looked like Philly was going to run away with the East, but Dallas is right there. Dallas is starting to breathe down their necks right now. And the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow and oh boy, Buffalo's got to play that team next week, even though they're in Buffalo and at home. Oh boy, I'm starting to I got some concern going into that game, as if I didn't have concern enough this week, which we'll get into in just a little bit. But a wild and crazy Thanksgiving, and an equally and a surprise here on Black Friday today. So not much more. MF, crazy Thanksgiving and Black Friday, capped off by what we saw this afternoon in Philadelphia. Chicago Bears, real deal.
Yeah, the Bears are a real deal, and it has been very apparent with everything going on. This is wild. Just to give you a little bit of a side note, yeah, Anthony, you and Bullock are 0 for right now. Brian Keenan, it got one of the 4. So did I. I got one of the 4. Jake got 3 out of the 4. The only one he missed so far has been Detroit, but he's called for the Dallas victory. He called for his Cincinnati Bengals that won last night, and he actually did call for the Chicago Bears to dump the Philadelphia Eagles. So he's definitely making a little late surge here. So far, he's got 3 out of the 4. Yeah, and it's been shockers left and right. But I knew it. I told you guys that Green Bay was going to get Detroit. And I got a lot of flack for that too. But I knew it. I there was something about that game. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I made a mistake. I felt like Dallas was going to win the game, and I should have gone with the Cowboys on that one. So I would have had 2. But the other 2, total shockers. Cincinnati, the way they played, I was worried about Joe Burrow. I was worried about that maybe, the rust, first came back, and all of a sudden, he went nuts. Holy crap. So I was incredible with that one. And then, like you said, the final one, today, Chicago's the real deal, man. They absolutely won this game. They did what they had to do. They handled their business. They beat Philadelphia. Philly is in trouble, folks. They are falling apart right before our very eyes. And yeah, all of a sudden, what looked like an easy run for the Eagles through the division, the Cowboys are nipping at their heels real fast. And I honestly can say it. I think the Cowboys have. I think the Cowboys have a great chance of winning the division now because of this. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, what a crazy day it was yesterday with the 3 games on Thanksgiving. I mean, yeah, Green Bay, they proved that they can hang with Detroit, and that that was a statement win for Green Bay. I mean, to go in there and win it like that, I mean, that was just something. But yeah, I mean, Kansas City, I mean, they basically, I mean, they had and the thing is, and I always say, one man can't carry a team. In football, it's a team game. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had a good game, but the problem is the defense couldn't do much to stop the Dallas Cowboys, and that to me was a signature win for Dallas. I mean, to beat a team that's been to the Super Bowl 3 straight years, that's something. And like, yeah, and but man, Cincinnati, I mean, basically, I mean, they beat up on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. I mean, something I don't think anybody saw coming. I mean, we're all thinking, yeah, it's Baltimore. This is Joe Burrow's first game back in a while, and I was worried about him. And you're thinking it's going to be another easy one. That wasn't the case, and yeah, Cincinnati with a huge win, and yeah, and like you said, Florio, I mean, and I even told you this earlier. I mean, about a week or so ago, I would have said Buffalo would have had no problem with Cincinnati. But after the performance last night from Cincinnati, this game may not be as easy as you thought it was. After the kind of game Joe Burrow had, so yeah, you already got problems with Pittsburgh this week, but now you got to face this Cincinnati team with Joe Burrow being back, and with all the injuries going on your side, Florio. I think it may be. I don't know if I should say this, Florio, but could we say it's panic button time for your Buffalo Bills? I mean, that I could see it.
Very well could be. Very well could be.
Yeah, I mean and think of that. I mean, not just with these two, but then you got to go to Foxborough to face the Patriots, and man, But getting back to this, and then today, the Chicago Bears, what they did to Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champs, and beat them like that, and to the point that the Philly fans basically started booing the team and even leaving early, that's when you know you got problems with Philadelphia. And like you even just said, Florio, it's high time that we all put some respect into the Chicago Bears. And even saw after the game, guys, I mean, Ben Johnson, he even took off his shirt and celebrated with the team afterwards. That just shows you how different this Chicago Bears team is. And think of this, guys. 1 year ago on Black Friday, the Chicago Bears they fired Matt Eberflus on Black Friday. And
Yeah.
look at where they are now.
And the thing is, a lot of people didn't think Ben Johnson was the right coach for that team at the time. A
Well,
lot of people were giving Chicago a lot of flack for hiring Ben Johnson because they thought that, he wasn't the right guy. Did you really need an offensive coordinator from Detroit, unproven, and the whole 9 yards? And at the beginning, it looked like they were right. Because
but
if you remember, Chicago wasn't playing so great.
yeah, they were 0-2.
They were 0-2. And there was a lot of people going after them.
And they were saying we were right.
Yeah.
But
But
I think those people right now, those saying that, they probably need to start eating some crow.
oh yeah. Because all of a sudden, Chicago's been turning into that monsters of the Midway way back when. And if they keep going, man, whoever would have thought, but it's very possible they might be the NFC North champions. Like, they're on that path right now.
Well, I'll even go a step further, Fletch. I think this is a team, I don't think anybody in that NFC wants to play in the playoffs with the way this team is rolling.
No.
I mean,
this is the first time in a long time we can say that Chicago's been relevant. And we don't use that word very lightly, but this is a relevant squad. This is one of the rare times we can say Chicago is definitely, they're right there. They are so there.
They are the real folks. And also that Caleb Williams is the guy for them at quarterback. I mean,
yes.
That's the thing. I mean, and they've been trying to find that guy for a long time. And you have him paired with Ben Johnson. You're seeing the results right here, folks. Right here, right now. I'm sure there's going to be some other favorites when it comes to the NFC, but I'm saying it right here, right now, folks. The Chicago Bears are a team you don't want to play come playoff time in the NFC. I'm saying it right now. And let's just say, Florio, before I give it to you for the rest of this week, I think there's two people in WWE that must really love what the Chicago Bears are doing right now. If you know what I mean.
Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
Yeah, damn right. I can guarantee you right now they're probably laughing and enjoying what they're seeing out of the Chicago Bears right now.
Oh yeah, I saw the post on Seth Rollins. I love football right now, and he's really loving football right now. So yes,
yeah.
Oh yeah, forget liking it. He's loving it right now with Bears.
So are you. Bullock.
Well, yeah, I'm literally sold on this team. I mean,
no,
if you would,
what I mean about the I love football, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, did anybody think the Bears would be where they are right now after that 0-2 start? And after what Fletch just said, I mean,
no,
there were people.
No,
I didn't think so either. There were people that saying Ben Johnson wasn't the right guy. Caleb Williams is not the quarterback of the future. All that
Yeah.
yada yada and stuff. But to those people out there, I think it's time you eat that slice of humble pie and enjoy it. So, yeah, a crazy couple of days. So, I'm interested to see what the rest of this week is going to bring for you as I give it to you as we start to preview the rest of it.
We go to the Sunday slate. We have 7 early games, and we're going to start it off with a good one here on Fox. The Los Angeles Rams squaring off against the Carolina Panthers, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Joe Davis, Greg Olson, Pam Oliver, they will be on the call for that one. And the Rams opening up as a 10.5-point favorite. Carolina, though, leads the regular season series 12-10. The Rams have won the last 2 meetings in a row, including the last meeting in Charlotte, 2019, Rams winning 30-27. The Panthers' last home win over the Rams was 2013, a 30-15 win. So let's dive on in. Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams has 12 receiving touchdowns, which is the most in the NFL. 9 of his 12 receiving scores have been in goal-to-go situations, which is already the second most in his career, according to ESPN research. Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur said he's been a problem at the line of scrimmage well before he got here. He's probably the best release guy since he got into the league, and he's still doing it. Dude's still got a lot of juice in that body, as you guys can see. Panthers running back Rico Dowdle posted a cryptic emoji on X the morning after getting only 6 carries in the loss to San Francisco on Monday night. When asked why he called a pass on 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, Coach Dave Canales admitted that he needs to stay more committed to the running game. Ball control will be especially important against the high-scoring Rams, who are averaging 30.5 points a game during this 6-game winning streak. Keep Matthew Stafford and company off the field and you have a chance. The Panthers are 3-1 when quarterback Bryce Young records at least 6 yards per attempt. They are 3-4 when he records fewer than 6 yards per attempt. A very high FPI for the Rams, 71% going with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams to win this one as well. 34-20, give me the Rams to defeat Carolina. Keep this hot streak going. And MF, as of right now, if the season were to end, the road to Super Bowl 60 in the NFC goes through SoFi.
We'll go through SoFi Stadium, absolutely, yes. And I totally agree with everything you just said here. I'm also going with the Rams as well. I kind of feel like they are the better team going in. So I got the Rams as well to win this one. And I believe, Anthony, it is back to you.
Bullock.
Oh, Bullock.
Yeah, I've yet to talk about it. So, yeah. Well, but then again, I mean, remember I just said that the Bears are the team nobody wants to play? I think this is enough that can make the case for it. The LA Rams. I mean, with the way they're playing right now. So I got the LA Rams winning this one. I think they should be able to take care of business with Carolina. And so there's really nothing more to say. And I know this happened just a few minutes ago, Florio, but we actually have an upset in college football.
We do have an upset in college football. Hook 'em Horns, the number 16 Texas Longhorns, have just upsetted the number 3 Texas A&M Aggies. 27-17, Texas wins. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad for, you know what? I'll say this. That's massive in a lot of sense. Texas A&M, you just lost your spot in the top 4. You're out. Now, Georgia and Alabama, they're looking at you two right now because if Alabama wins tomorrow and wins the Iron Bowl, they're going to Atlanta. They're going for the SEC title again. And guess who's waiting in the wings?
Georgia.
The Bulldogs. Here we go again.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
And also, I think Texas may have put themselves in the college football playoff picture.
That's a big win.
It is a big win.
After a win like that.
It is a big win, but the thing is,
they do need. I mean,
they need some help.
They enter the picture.
They're in the picture, but they're going to need some help. They're going to need some help.
I was just about to say they need some, but they somehow want to get in. So
yep.
Yes, they do.
And next week's championship week is going to really help not just tomorrow's games, but next week's conference championship games is going to decide the fate of this Longhorn team.
Yeah, because right now that's a major quality win for them, huge win. But they need some teams who really is hoping to get in there. The teams that are not happy right now are literally the teams near the bottom. So like a Miami, they're not going to be happy right now. Even Michigan, even though they got to play Ohio State tomorrow, that is not a win we wanted it to see. We did not want to see Texas win here tonight, and they did.
That could change tomorrow if Michigan pulls it off. I mean, especially if beat not just the number one team in the nation, but the defending national champions.
Yes, it would, but again, you're talking about at-large teams. Because we're not talking about automatics, because we know the top 4 is already been solidified. Well, it's going to be one of the top 4 spots just got thrown up in the air.
And that's Texas
A&M. Because A&M is out of there. They just lost the top 4 spot. They're no longer in the top 4. But the thing is, that puts them from a top 4 to now an at-large. That means, I hate to say this, somebody on that bottom line near that bubble just lost their spot because A&M needs to fill that gap. So if you're in Miami, if you're Michigan, that was not an outcome you wanted it to see, because you wanted A&M to win, because that means status quo.
This was like the one upset you did not want to see happen if you're a Michigan or a Miami fan.
No. This was not, and then there's some other teams who are also trying to fight, like a BYU, like a Utah. This is an outcome they did not want to see tonight.
And would this give Michigan even more motivation tomorrow?
Oh, this gives them a lot of incentive to win.
Absolutely.
This even gives a lot of incentive for Miami to win tomorrow as well, because Miami actually still has a shot at the ACC championship game. They gotta if they win their game, then they need either SMU to trip up. They need, I think they needed what is Vatech in Virginia and Vatech tomorrow, Anthony?
Virginia Tech and Virginia.
Yeah, that's tomorrow, right?
Yes, it is.
They need Virginia to lose. They need Virginia to lose to Vatech tomorrow. If one of those outcomes happen, Miami's playing in Charlotte for the ACC championship. And that ends all that stupid debate about, if Notre Dame and Miami, if they get the same records, with who stays, who goes. If Miami wins the ACC championship, they are through.
For sure.
There's no fight for the Fighting Irish, because you cannot say you can make the argument that Notre Dame could get kicked out because of Miami. Because not only do you have the ACC championship, not only do you have identical records, remember, early in the year, first game, Miami beat Notre Dame at the Hard Rock. That's a big win there. And that's huge.
And also, Notre Dame doesn't have a conference championship to play for.
No,
they don't.
So
they don't.
That's a reason why I think you may need to start worrying about your team, Florio.
No. There's no chance in hell the committee's gonna leave Notre Dame out of the college football playoff.
They're number 9. They're number 9 in the rankings.
No, it's not just that. But I'm just saying, there's no way Notre Dame's falling out. If Notre Dame falls out of the college football playoff, there is going to be such an uproar, so bad.
I'm going to lead it. And Brian Keenan and I are going to lead that charge.
I already know it. They're going to ask for the government for a federal investigation on the NCAA committee if Notre Dame gets left out. It's going to be worse than when Florida State got left out of the college football playoff. It will be even worse than that. And I'm telling you right now. And I understand where Anthony Florio and Brian Keenan is going to go because they will go mental if Notre Dame gets left out.
Yes.
Imagine imagine Derek Ferrera's reaction because yes, he's Ohio State because of his niece, I believe, cousin or niece goes to Ohio State, but he is a diehard Notre Dame fan. Imagine the outrage that would come out of Derek Ferrera's mouth. He will go on a rant. And I'll tell you what, that rant will be freaking justified. I will justify. 9 times out of 10, sometimes we're like, Ferrera, maybe you shouldn't say this, say that. If Notre Dame gets left out by this committee, I am guaranteeing you. Florio's going Bret Hart 97. Brian Keenan's losing his mind, and we're going to have a profanity-laced rant by Derek Ferrera that will be justified more than anything else in this goddamn world.
And the last thing the NCAA would need is the federal government to investigate.
Yeah, because then there's going to be
Then you're literally opening up Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this 12 team.
I was feeling real good about Notre Dame, and now you're starting to plant those seeds of doubt in my mind. Thanks. So.
Hey, look, not my fault. Don't look at me. I wasn't the one who started saying this. This is all on Bullock. He started throwing some hay here. I was like, oh. But he does make some valid points on some of these arguments, though. Bullock is right about certain things here. So
they got to smash Stanford. Basically.
And that's the thing they got to take care of their business with Stanford, because if God forbid they lose this game, or if it's
they're not losing to Stanford. They're not going to lose to Stanford.
I'm saying God forbid if that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, then.
But if it becomes even closer than what we're all thinking.
The spread is 31 and a half.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just take care of business, and I think you can eliminate those worries, Florio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're projected. You know what
the one theory is? If Miami loses tomorrow to Pittsburgh. If Miami loses to Pittsburgh, it's an end of the debate. Because then Miami is out, then Notre Dame, you can breathe a sigh of relief, because then the biggest cog that maybe could screw you over here is out of the picture. Is literally out of the picture. Then you got nothing to worry about.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have more confidence in Notre Dame than I do in Buffalo right now. Honestly, I do.
I never would have thought he would say that.
Because they've been more consistent. After starting 0-2, they've won 9 in a row. And especially after what they did to Syracuse last week, I'm riding high.
Well,
so
I will openly admit I will openly admit it that I get the riding high, and I understand that, because honestly, but again, like I said prior to the game, they were missing their starter quarterback. Their best quarterback was out because he tore his ACL. That's why I felt like it was an unfair, because they weren't with their full horses. Now, if they had their full complementary of guys that I saw earlier in the year, that game would have been a hell of a lot more closer than the outcome was. I still had Notre Dame winning, but it would not have been the emphatic, one-sided beatdown that it was. I would have said that would have been at least a 10 or 14-point win for Notre Dame, but not 70-7. No, absolutely not.
And 21-0 before their offense even took the field. So what does that tell you?
And that's why I'm saying tomorrow and championship week is going to be very, very telling to see.
It will indeed.
What the final outcome will be for the college football playoff, because, like you said, Fletch, if Notre Dame for some reason gets left out, yeah, there's going to be a major uproar, not just in Notre Dame country, but literally all over the U.S. There are going to be fans who are going to be out there saying, this 12-team system is not working. You need to expand it to 16.
Well, we shall see.
Or basically, and I don't know if I've heard anybody say this, or maybe just get rid of the damn thing.
I've liked what I've seen with the, for the most part, with the college football playoff. I mean,
so we'll see. We'll see.
Let's
get back to this
story. That's a story for another day, Bullock. So, all right. So we could go on and on all night about that, but we don't have that kind of time. So let's continue on here. We still got a bit more to get to here. Next up, we have, it's our side of the ledger. This came in, I believe, as our number 6 game of the week. The San Francisco 49ers squaring off against the Cleveland Browns, Huntington Bank Stadium in Cleveland. Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins. They will be on the call for that one. And the spread favors San Francisco by 4.5. Cleveland leads the regular season series 19-10. Last meeting was 2 years ago in Cleveland, and the Browns actually won that game, 19-17. This is a little hard to believe, but the last time the 49ers have not won in Cleveland since all the way back in 1984. And they smashed them 41-7. So not much more. MF, our number 6 game of the week, San Francisco 49ers, Cleveland Browns. I'm hearing that there's supposed to be some nasty weather to your liking for this game.
Yeah, possible mud bowl coming out of this. With everything that's been going on, and no doubt about it, in my opinion, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Look, Shedeur Sanders looked really good last week. I think Shedeur is going to be a very interesting matchup more than anything else. So we'll see how this plays out. Going into this, we'll see. But at the end, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting, dilemma more than anything else, and we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, I totally believe that it's going to be I totally believe it's going to be a very interesting matchup. I think the 49ers are going to win. I just feel like they got enough in the tank, even though I think the defense has gotten a lot more better, and I truly believe that it's going to be a different outcome here. So really nothing more to add. Yeah, Michael Bullock, it's yours. Niners win it, but it's going to be a lot more closer than what the experts have it.
Yeah, I got the 49ers winning this one. I mean, I think this is going to, like you said, I think this is going to be closer than what people say. But at the end, I got San Francisco winning. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah. While this might look like a favorable game on paper for the 49ers, history suggests otherwise. As I just mentioned, San Francisco has not won in Cleveland since 1984, a streak of 4 straight defeats. And Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz has given Niners coach Kyle Shanahan's offense fits. In 3 games against Shanahan's Niners, Schwartz defenses have limited San Francisco to 15.7 points, 290 yards, and 4.6 yards of play. Throw in the potential for rain or snow, conditions in which quarterback Brock Purdy has a career 49.1 QBR, and this figures to be a tough test. Kyle Shanahan said Jim's as good of a coordinator as there is. And when you're as good of a coordinator as there is, and you have the talent that they have, it's a pretty lethal combination. The Browns are sticking with quarterback Shedeur Sanders after he helped spark Cleveland's passing game in his first start. The Browns still struggled on a play-to-play basis. a play-by-play basis, though, registering their second lowest downset conversion rate in the game this season at 50%. Sanders joked about how much better he would be after a full off season of reps. He now gets another week as QB1 to improve and try to pull off an upset at home. Coach Kevin Stefanski said, are there things that he can do better? Absolutely. We've already talked about that with him. He has the mentality that he will make the adjustments to the speed of the game, make the adjustments to what people are giving us to make those improvements. Browns edge Myles Garrett has 14 sacks in his last 5 games. The most sacks by any player over a 5-game span since 1982, when player sacks became an official stat. But the FPI loves the 49ers here. 76% going with the San Francisco 49ers. I could see it being a close game, but I still got the 49ers winning as well. I'm going to go 21-17. San Francisco gets by Cleveland on Sunday. We have a big game here coming up next on the docket here. This is our number 2 game of the week. And there's definitely some AFC and AFC South implications in this one. Our number 2 game of the week features the Houston Texans squaring off against the Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Iron Eagle, J.J. Watt, Evan Washburn on the call. Indianapolis opening up as a 3.5-point favorite. First meeting of the season between these two AFC South Division rivals. And the series history, it's all Indianapolis in the regular season. 32-13 with a tie. However, the Texans have won the last 3 meetings in a row against the Colts. And matter of fact, the Texans have actually won the last 3 years in a row in Indianapolis, including a 29-27 win there last year. The Colts have not beaten the Texans at home since 2021, a 31-3 final. Michael Bullock, started with you. Number 2 game of the week on our side. Houston, Indianapolis. Indianapolis got off to that very hot start. They let the game get away from Kansas City last week. Kansas City coming back to win there. Houston, meanwhile, they're breathing down their necks in the AFC South, especially after that big win against Buffalo last Thursday night.
Oh, I mean, and especially now, we just heard they're getting C.J. Stroud back this week. So, yeah, you get him back, and of course, the way that defense plays. And here's the other thing, too, to keep an eye on. Daniel Jones is going to be playing with a fractured fibula. So you know he's not coming in at 100%. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. So this is going to be a tough one, but I don't know. I mean, after that long, and especially with the way Daniel Jones is, and yes, you still got Jonathan Taylor and all that, but there's something about this Houston Texans team now all of a sudden that makes me feel like, hey, they beat Buffalo. They can certainly have a chance against the Colts. So I'm actually going to take a chance, and I'm going to go with the Houston Texans to win this one. I'm actually going to take a chance here. So there's really nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
It's very possible. Very, very possible. Absolutely. This week is most likely going, well, we're not going to say it's most likely because it is officially confirmed. C.J. Stroud, he is back after missing 3 games with a concussion. And somehow the Houston Texans survived in his absence, going 3-0 as the defense and backup quarterback Davis Mills found ways to win. Now with Stroud back, Houston is primed to make a playoff run or even steal the division if it can beat the Colts in their 2 head-to-head matchups. Indianapolis has played just 2 division games, both against the Tennessee Titans, making this the first of 4 AFC South games in the final 6 weeks. Quarterback Daniel Jones is coming off an underwhelming performance against Kansas City, posting his lowest passing total, 181 yards, and yards per attempt figure, 5.8 of the season. Houston's dominant defense poses one of the toughest tests the Colts have faced. And a big key will be whether they can get NFL rushing leader Jonathan Taylor back on track after the Chiefs limited him to 58 rushing yards. Texans edge rusher Will Anderson Jr. has gone 6 straight games with a sack, tied with Mario Williams in 2007 for the second longest streak in Houston Texan history. Only J.J. Watt has more, 7 straight, spanning the 2014 and 15 seasons. But the FPI still likes Indianapolis, 64%, going with the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to take a chance and go with the Indianapolis Colts, mainly because the game is in Indianapolis. If this game was in Houston at NRG Stadium, I would go with Houston. But Lucas Oil Stadium, tough place to win. And 64%, that's a pretty decent FPI. So I'm going to take a chance and go with Indianapolis here. I say 23-17, Indy wins, but I certainly would not be surprised if the Houston Texans stole that game. And if they do, that AFC South just got very, very interesting. Just like in the NFC East with Philly and Dallas. We thought Philly was going to run away with that division, but Dallas is now breathing down their necks. Houston wins this game, they're going to be breathing down Indy's neck. And with the way things were going, it looked like Indy was going to run away with the South. Not so fast, my friends. You got the Houston Texans breathing down your neck. Oh, by the way, you've also got the Jacksonville Jaguars breathing down your neck also. And we'll get into them in a little bit. So I'm going to take a chance on Indy, but I wouldn't be surprised if Houston steals this. 23-17 Indy wins. MF, number 2 game of the week, could have been ours, but huge game, not just in the South, but in the AFC playoff picture altogether.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I kind of feel like Indy's going to win. I kind of feel like Indianapolis is going to win the game. I don't think there's really much more for us to say here. That's just the way it's going to go. I really got nothing more to say here. So yeah, give me Indy. Just give me Indy to win it, and that's it. Nothing more to add. So Indy wins it, and yeah. So it's all yours.
All right, MF. We move on. Coming up next, we got your team as our next game up will be on Fox. It will be the New Orleans Saints squaring off against MF's Miami Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This game on Fox, and on the call for that one will be Kevin Kugler, Daryl Moose Johnston, and Allison Williams. And Miami, you're going to love this, MF. Miami opening up as a 5.5-point favorite here. And the series history between these two, it favors Miami, but it's only 7-6. However, the Dolphins won the last meeting in 2021. They defeated the Saints in the Superdome 20-3. This is their first meeting in Miami since 2009, and New Orleans won a wild one, 46-34. Dolphins have not beaten the Saints at home since 1998, and that was a 30-10 final. So we go back to the top here, and I'll take it for a spin first when it comes to this one. All right. Saints running back Alvin Kamara injured his knee last Sunday after it twisted awkwardly while he was being tackled in the first quarter. Taysom Hill took over a lot of things in the run game despite not practicing it much. But if Kamara is out this week, expect to see a lot of rookie running back Devin Neal in both the run game and the passing game. Neal caught 5 passes after Kamara left the game Sunday. For the first time this season, the Dolphins might have starting right tackle Austin Jackson available. He has been on IR with a toe injury, but his 21-day window to return opened in Week 11. Left tackle Patrick Paul said Jackson's return gives us a spark and that he is someone who is very impactful in the game and just a great person to have on the field. Miami ranks 24th in pass block win rate, 58.6%, and 28th in run block win rate, 69.5%. But both figures should improve with Jackson in the lineup. Dolphins running back Devon Achane is seeking his 3rd straight game with 100 rushing yards and at least 5 catches. Last player to do this in 3 straight games was Ezekiel Elliott in 2018. And a solid FPI for the Dolphins, 66%, going with the Miami Dolphins And I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins to win this game as well. I'm going to go 31-13. Give me Miami to defeat New Orleans. So not much more to say. MF, looks like you got an easy one here.
Yeah, but here's the problem that I have with this. A lot of the times, whenever there's an easy game, we start to get we start making some mistakes. We get a little too complacent. We kind of get a little overzealous, and a lot of things can go wrong here. Honestly, truthfully, I totally agree with you. I hope that this is not the outcome, and I do believe that I hope this is the right thing, and I do believe Miami should win this game, but there's really nothing more to add. So, Michael Bullock, is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Miami Dolphins to win this one as well. I mean, I do think that they should be able to handle their business, but they just can't take New Orleans too lightly, or who knows. So Miami wins. Let's move on.
All right, next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons squaring off against the New York Jets. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, in the Meadowlands. Chris Myers, Mark Schlereth, Jen Hale will have it. Atlanta opening up as a 2.5-point favorite. And the series history with these two, it favors Atlanta 9-5. And the Falcons have won the last 3 meetings in a row against the Jets. Last meeting was 2 years ago in New York. Falcons won it 13-8. The Jets have not beaten the Falcons at home since 1998, 28-3 at the old Giant Stadium. But the Falcons have won 3 straight at the Jets. So not much more to say. MF, you started off. Falcons and Jets. Who you got?
Yeah, this is one of those games where I got to go with Atlanta, even though I'm not like 1000% sure about it, because I kind of feel like the Jets just is a little out there. They made a lot of mistakes along the way. I kind of feel like the Falcons should win this one. We'll see how it plays out. It might be a lot more closer than what the experts have it, but I think the Falcons should do enough to win this game. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm in agreement here. I mean, I'm definitely gonna go with I'm gonna go with Atlanta to win this one as well. I mean, yeah, I just think that. Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, I just think they should be able to handle their business with the Jets here. So there's really nothing more for me to add. It's yours, Florio.
Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich will return to MetLife Stadium, where he was the Jets defensive coordinator for 4 seasons and then interim coach for a part of last season. He will bring with him a revamped defense that has 39 sacks, third highest total in the league, and more sacks than Atlanta had in 6 of the last 7 seasons. Ulbrich has helped get the most out of players like second-year defensive lineman Brandon Dorless, who barely played as a rookie and now leads the team with 6 sacks. New York looks to improve to 3-0 against backup quarterbacks as it faces Kirk Cousins. Chances are this will come down to how well they defend running back Bijan Robinson. The Jets have allowed a league-low 2.7 yards a rush over the last 2 games, including a solid performance last week against Baltimore's Derrick Henry, 64 yards on 21 carries. Falcons have recorded 4 straight games with at least 5 sacks. They look to become the 4th team since 1963, when team sacks became official, with a 5-game, 5-sack streak. Solid FPI for Atlanta. It's not overwhelming. It's 57%, but it still favors Atlanta. And I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win this one as well. I'm going to go with a score I used earlier as well. I'm going to go with the 21-17. 21-17, give me Atlanta to defeat the Jets. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals squaring off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, Megan O'Leary. They will be in Tampa for this one. Excuse me. Tampa Bay opening up as a 3.5-point favorite. And the series history, gentlemen, is tied 11-11 So whoever wins this game will take the series lead between these two. But Tampa Bay has won the last 2 meetings in a row. 2022 in Arizona, Tampa Bay won it 19-16 in overtime. Last meeting in Tampa, 2019, Bucks winning that one 30-27. The Cardinals have not won in Tampa since 2013. Final score 13-10. All right, Michael Bullock, we started with you. Arizona, Tampa Bay. Arizona looking to get back in the win column, whereas Tampa Bay, 3-game losing streak, losses to your Patriots, my Bills, and then getting absolutely smashed by the Rams last Sunday night.
Yeah, that was yeah, it's been a tough go around for them, and they really need a win here to if they want to keep hold of their division. So I think they should be able to take care of their business here. I mean, I really hope so. So I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this one. So it's yours.
Yeah, definitely a must-win for Tampa here because they got Carolina breathing down their necks in the NFC South. For the Cardinals, wide receiver Michael Wilson is expected to have another significant role in the offense, whether or not Marvin Harrison Jr. returns this week from an appendectomy. Yikes. That comes after Wilson had 25 catches for 303 yards in the last 2 games without Harrison. If Harrison does play, then Wilson will be looked at more than he was before the last 2 weeks, said Coach Jonathan Gannon, who has long talked about riding the hot hand. Throw it to the guys that are making plays for you. Absolutely, Gannon said. The Bucs are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, though we've seen them climb out of bigger midseason holes before. However, this time, quarterback Baker Mayfield is dealing with a low-grade sprained AC joint in his left non-throwing shoulder. He has never missed a game with Tampa Bay, so he's either going to be limited or backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater will step in. The Bucs need this win to gain some ground on Carolina, who are now just a half game behind them in the NFC South. Cardinals tight end Trey McBride has 13 straight games with 5+ catches, tied for the longest streak in franchise history. Larry Fitzgerald had a longer streak in their Super Bowl year of 2008. The FPI goes with Tampa Bay. They have Tampa Bay winning with 63%. It's a 63% FPI for Tampa. And I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to win this one. Close game, but I'm going to go 23-17. Tampa Bay defeats Arizona. I think Tampa Bay will snap this skid. And why not? They got Chris Godwin back last week. And this week, they're finally going to get Bucky Irving back. Bucky Irving is coming back this week. That's huge for them. Now, if they can only get Mike Evans back, then they're going to be a team to watch for. But I'm going with Tampa, though, 23-17. I think they'll do just enough to get by this one, even though Arizona's a very scrappy team. So we'll see. Give me Tampa to win. So not much more to say. MF, Tampa wins, which means Bucky will be firing those cannons.
Yeah, I do believe Tampa's going to win it too. There's really not much for us to say here. So yeah, so give me Tampa to win as well. Anthony, back to you.
All right, MF, we have one early game left. And I'm sorry to say it's our Zonk game of the week. The Jacksonville Jaguars squaring off against the Tennessee Titans. Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And I'm just trying to see. I think this might be their second meeting this season. No, it's their first. This is also their first. Okay. All right. Jacksonville and Tennessee on CBS. It'll be Spiro Ditas, Adam Archuleta, and Aditi Kinkabuela. And spread favors Jacksonville. Jacksonville opening up as a 6-point favorite. And the series history when it comes to these two AFC South division rivals, it favors it. Whoa, went a little far. Okay. Tennessee leads the regular season series 34-26. However, Jacksonville swept both meetings last year, including a 10-6 win in Nashville last year. Tennessee last beat the Jags in 2023. That was 28-20. So, all right, our Zonk game of the week. And it goes back to the top with me. So let's take this one for a spin here. Jaguars coach Liam Cohen called out the pass rush after the Week 10 loss to Houston, and the Jaguars responded. They have posted 9 sacks the last 2 weeks, fourth highest total in the league, and a league-high 32 quarterback hits. A part of that is due to facing a couple of beat-up offensive lines in the Los Angeles Chargers and Arizona. But the Jaguars went from last in the NFL with 12 sacks to 25th with 21. The pass rush is surging at the right time because Titans quarterback Cam Ward is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL with 45. Cam Ward continues to develop as a passer. He has led the Titans on late scoring drives to pull within a score in back-to-back games despite losing both. Jaguar defense is allowing 9.6 points a game in the fourth quarter, 29th worst in the league. So this could be the week when Ward leads Tennessee on a late scoring drive that results in a win. Ward set bests in total QBR in each of the last 2 weeks, 60.1 in week 11, 75.1 in week 12, after starting his career with 9 straight games with a QBR under 40. The FPI goes with Jacksonville here, 67% going with Jacksonville. I'm going with Jacksonville to win as well. And who knows, maybe Tennessee could give them fits, but I don't see that happening. I think Jacksonville wins this one somewhat comfortably, 24-14. Give me Jacksonville over Tennessee. Not much more to say. MF, Jacksonville and Tennessee are Zonk game of the week.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you just said. I think Jacksonville is going to win the game as well. There's really not much more for us to say here. So, yeah, give me Jacksonville to win it. And Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this one. I think they should be able to handle their business with Tennessee. So let's move on.
And we're on to the late games now, guys. There's only 3 this week. 1 4:05 game on Fox, 2 4:25 games on CBS. We'll start it off with the 4:05 game on Fox. It will feature the Minnesota Vikings squaring off against the Seattle Seahawks, Lumen Field in Seattle. Adam Amin, Drew Brees, and Christina Pink will have it. Seattle opening up as an 11.5-point favorite. Seattle leads the all-time series 12-7, but Minnesota's won the last 2 meetings, including a win in Seattle last year, 27-24. Seattle's last win over Minnesota overall and at home was 2020. That was a 27-26 final. So not much more. MF, Minnesota and Seattle to kick off the late window.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle. I don't know. I kind of got a bad feeling about Minnesota. There's been a lot of talk about Minnesota being such a negative lately. So I kind of feel like this should be Seattle's game. They've been playing so good lately. So, yeah, give me Seattle to win it. I really got nothing more to say. And Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
And J.J. McCarthy is out this week, too, for Minnesota.
Yeah, and that makes it even more of a thing.
Yeah, like you said, I think this should be no problem for Seattle here. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks to handle their business with the Minnesota Vikings. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah. Minnesota is likely to have its 3rd different starting quarterback of the well, they are going to have their 3rd different starting quarterback of the season Sunday. The Vikings did not intend for rookie Max Brosmer to get on the field after signing him as an undrafted free agent in May. But injuries to both J.J. McCarthy with a concussion and Carson Wentz with a shoulder make Brosmer the likely starter in Seattle. Coaches believe Brosmer, who is actually 2 years older than McCarthy after 6 seasons in college, has the maturity and the processing ability to run a modified version of their offense. Coach Kevin O'Connell said Brosmer has been seeing things at a veteran level type of eye progression. One of Sam Darnold's takeaways from his 4 interception performance in week 11 was that he needed to do a better job of working through his progressions and not getting stuck on his first or second read. Coach Mike McDonald liked how he did that against Tennessee, as Darnold did not turn the ball over after giving it away 10 times over the previous 4 games. Darnold may not have as much time operate in the pocket against his former team as Minnesota leads in the NFL in blitz rate, 44.5%. Said defensive coordinator Brian Flores of Darnold, "We had a great rapport friendship. I'm happy for him, but we will blitz him this week." Vikings have lost 5 of their last 6 games, averaging 17 points a game. They're tied for the 5th lowest points a game in the NFL during that span since week 7. The FPI loves Seattle here. 70% going with Seattle. I'm going with Seattle. 24-9. Give me Seattle all over Minnesota. So we move on to our 2 425 games on CBS. This one comes in as I believe this was our number 8 game of the week. It is the Las Vegas Raiders squaring off against the Los Angeles Chargers, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Andrew Catalan, Charles Davis, and Jason McCourty will have it. This is already their second meeting of the season. They met in week number 2. Ironically, MF and I actually had this game. It was the Monday night game, but it was the Chargers winning that game by a score of 20-9. So, the Chargers are opening up as a 10-point favorite, 10-point spread for LA, and with that Charger win over Vegas in week number 2, the Chargers cut into the Raiders' lead. The Raiders now lead it regular season-wise, 68-61 now with 2 ties. And that's 3 in a row now for the Chargers. Chargers won at home last year, 22-10. They've won at home the last 4 years. The Raiders have not won at the Chargers since 2020. And that was a 31-26 final. So I believe it's Michael Bullock who starts it off. So Michael Bullock, our number 8 game of the week, the Raiders and the Chargers at SoFi. Your thoughts?
Yeah, like you said, the Chargers took advantage the first time, and yeah, I think they definitely take care of their business, and I think they'll beat the Vegas Raiders. So give me the LA Chargers to win this one. It's yours.
Will the Raiders look different under interim offensive coordinator Greg Olson? That's what Coach Pete Carroll is hoping. A part of the disconnect between Carroll and former offensive coordinator Chip Kelly was not sticking to the run game. If Las Vegas wants to create some kind of momentum heading toward the offseason, it begins with relying heavily on rookie running back Ashton Genty. The number 6 overall pick has only crossed 100 rushing yards once, and that was in week 4. For the Chargers, the offensive line has been this team's Achilles heel all season, and changes could be coming again this week. Los Angeles had Jamari Sawyer at left tackle during practice Tuesday, a position that has become a revolving door since Joe Alt's season-ending ankle injury. Coach Jim Harbaugh said, "I feel like we're as healthy as we've been since Joe. The hope is to solidify it from now to the rest of the season and also put in the contingencies." Raiders quarterback Geno Smith has 3 straight games with a total QBR 20 or lower. A 4th straight would be the longest streak since Jared Goff's 5 straight from weeks 13 to 17 in the 2016 season. The FPI absolutely loves the Chargers here. 74% going with the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to go 24-13 Chargers over the Raiders. MF, what says you?
I'm also with you. I'm also thinking the Chargers are going to win this game. I feel pretty confident with that as well. So, yeah, there's nothing more to add. Bullock is yours.
Well, Bullock already
sorry. Off. Yeah, it's yours.
Yep. All right, guys. This is the game right here. When it comes to the Sunday slate, this might be the big one right here. Even though it came in as our number 3 game of the week, mainly because of the cross-flex game, but still. AFC playoff implications are plenty in this one. The Buffalo Bills squaring off against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Acrisure Stadium, formerly Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, pulling double duty this week after they called the Kansas City-Dallas game on Thanksgiving. Buffalo opening up as a 3-point favorite, but Pittsburgh leads the regular season series 15-11. Their last meeting was a wild card playoff game, January of 24. Buffalo winning that one 31-17 in Buffalo. Believe it or not, this is their, well, actually, I stand corrected. Last time they met in Pittsburgh, it was a Sunday night game in December of 2019, and the Buffalo Bills actually won that game by a score of 17-10. Pittsburgh has not beaten Buffalo at home since 2013. That was a 23-10 final, and it's only fitting that I lead it off on it. So here we go, guys. Protecting the football will be paramount for the Bills. Not only is this game on the road, where the Bills have scored fewer than 20 points in all 3 of their road losses. But Pittsburgh is tied for second in the NFL in takeaways with 20. Buffalo has 3 straight games with 3 turnovers, the team's longest single-season streak since 2006. 4 straight would be their longest since 1986. This is a significant game for Buffalo as December nears, so stopping or even limiting this recent trend will go a long way. Pittsburgh will be without left tackle Broderick Jones with a neck injury, as Aaron Rodgers will return despite a fractured left wrist, but perhaps an even more impactful absence is rookie defensive tackle Derek Harmon. Though the first-round pick did not exit early in the loss to Chicago, he sustained a knee injury that will keep him out against Buffalo. The Bills, led by running back James Cook in his 98 yards a game. The Bills lead the NFL with 147.2 rushing yards a game. Steelers' run defense has improved recently, holding teams to an average of 105 yards a game. Harmon will be replaced by rookie Yahya Black and new acquisition Broderick Martin Rhodes. Steelers have 5 games where they've allowed 30-plus points this season, tied for the most in the season under Coach Mike Tomlin. They also had 5 back in 2013. The FPI slight edge to Buffalo, 55%, only 55% going with Buffalo. I know it looks, like I said, I know it looks bleak right now. I know Deion Dawkins is out. I know Spencer Brown is out. And I know a couple of others are out. I do know that. And Sean McDermott did say that there is a chance we might get Palmer back, and we also even might get Dalton Kincaid back. That would be huge for Buffalo if that's the case. So we shall wait and see. And this is a tough one. This is very tough. I mean, of course, I'm going to go with Buffalo. Of course. I mean, I'm not going to abandon my team because, you know, I always preach about real fans sticking by their teams no matter what, in good times and in bad. And I mean, this was not the script that we were all that what we in Bills Mafia, we were not expecting this. We were expecting this to be, you know, after coming so close last year. I mean, oof. I had so much confidence going into this, but with all the injuries, I mean, I'll be honest, I do have some doubts. Josh Allen, 8 sacks last week. He got sacked 8 times against Houston, and that, I mean, he goes from a beast in Will Anderson, and now he's got to face another carnivore, another no bread, no water, just meat kind of guy in TJ Watt. He is that guy. He is. And Bullock has called him a game wrecker, and he is a game wrecker. Buffalo signing Gabe Davis from the practice squad. Curtis Samuel is now on IR. Deion Dawkins is out. Spencer Brown is out. Terrell Bernard is out. Curtis Samuel is out. But there might be a chance that Palmer and or Kincaid could be back. Kincaid would be huge because he's our leading receiver. So if Buffalo wants to have any chance of making it 6 straight AFC East division titles, it is paramount they win this game. It is imperative they win this game. I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous. I'm a nervous wreck because they have a very tough schedule. Pittsburgh, a new and improved Cincinnati Bengal team that literally in one found swoop last night got their mojo back. And you know they've given Buffalo fits in the past. And then New England in Foxborough. And then they still got to deal with Philly. They still got Philly after Christmas. They only have 2 winnable games left. Well, Cleveland, Myles Garrett, another no bread, no water, just meat kind of guy. If he can sack Bullock's guy Drake May 5 times, who knows what he can do to Josh Allen, especially in Cleveland. And then they have the Jets at the end of the game, at the end of the season, the final game at Highmark Stadium, and it could end up being their final game at Highmark Stadium, even if they make it, even if they make the playoffs. God forbid, I hope they win. I'm not overly confident. This is This is one of those I'm praying for it kind of picks, but I'm going to take a chance. I mean, would I be surprised if Pittsburgh steals this one? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't. But I got to go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo will do just enough to get this one. 27-26. I'm going with Buffalo to win. I know I'm probably going to be lone wolfing this one. I can hear MF. I'm sure MF's ready to go against this, and I wouldn't be surprised, but it is what it is. So give me Buffalo. Like I said, I'm praying for it. Not going to be easy, but I think they'll do just enough. Just enough. 27-26, give me Buffalo. MF, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, number 3 game of the week. Playoff implications on both sides.
Yeah, playoff implications on both sides. But the thing is that Buffalo abandoned the run. And they haven't been that team that would abandon a run. But if they didn't abandon the run, I truly believe it would be a lot more different than what it is right now. I kind of feel like right now that's exactly what's been the problem with them, is that they've kind of went a different direction, thinking, certain different ways and the whole 9 yards. Hang on. Excuse me, I knew a sneeze was coming. I gotta go with Buffalo though. I don't know why. I know a lot of people's like, Pittsburgh's been no. I really don't have as much faith in Pittsburgh. I've seen all I needed to see from the Pittsburgh Steelers after that last game. And I truly believe they're not as good as what they are. And if Buffalo can't beat this team, then they got no business making the playoffs. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it the way I see it. On paper, Buffalo's far superior than the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they should beat them down and humble them like I think they should. But the thing is that they've been making so many mistakes and so many different things because either they take a team too lightly or they don't play within the system. And I really feel like that's kind of been the whole spiel. So I'm done with it. I think Buffalo should win it. Nothing more to say. And Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one here, but I don't know. I mean, it's just that with the injuries, I mean, especially on the offensive line, and you also got some, and you don't know the status of some of their receivers, and the thing, I don't know if I would know this, but what's the situation with the Keon Coleman? I mean, is he going to be a healthy scratch again?
Well, he has had some disciplinary issues relating to being late for team meetings. I mean, what a disappointment. I mean, he had a lot of clutch catches for Buffalo last year, but this year he's been anything but clutch. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
But they did sign Brandon Cooks, though, an old friend of yours, Bullock.
Oh yeah. Well, is he going to be able to play, or is he
Brandon Cooks?
Yeah.
They signed him to the active roster, and they just signed Gabe Davis to the active roster. Curtis Samuel going on the IR. So,
well, I'm interested to see how that goes, since this is basically their first game, and they've only had less than a week to learn the system. So we'll see what happens. But again, it's the offensive line that's the problem, because again, Floyer, remember, 8 sacks of Josh Allen, and if they can't protect Josh Allen, and if they don't get that running game going, I think it's going to be very tough for them. And as I stated to you, TJ Watt is a game wrecker. And with that offensive line, that's a problem. He could be feasting on them. So this is a tough one. Now, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to take a chance, and I'm actually going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, look, if Buffalo were healthy and didn't have all these problems, there's no doubt in my mind I go with Buffalo. But with the injuries and some of the other problems they've had, I just think it's going to be very tough for them. And Pittsburgh, after what happened last week, I think they're going to take advantage of it. So I'm actually going to lone wolf this one, and I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there's really nothing more for me to say. So it's yours, Florio.
And if this is indeed the outcome, I certainly wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. All right. Sunday Night Football on NBC, 8:20. This came in, I believe, as our number 5 game of the week. It will be the Denver Broncos squaring off against the Washington Commanders, Northwest Stadium, formerly FedEx Field, in Landover, Maryland. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark. Denver opening up as a 5.5-point favorite. Denver leads the all-time series, but it's only 8-7 in the regular season. The last meeting was 2 years ago in Denver, Washington winning a wild one, 35-33. That's when Russell Wilson had that infamous Hail Mary that got them within 2. They went for 2, but they just missed it. We all remember that. That was in Denver. Last meeting in Washington, 2017. Washington won that 27-11. The Broncos have not won in Washington since their Super Bowl year of 1998 when they smashed them 38-16. So I believe MF starts this one off. So MF, Sunday Night Football, number 5 game of the week, Denver goes into Washington. Jaden Daniels is out, but Scary Terry is coming back, Terry McLaurin. But they will not have Jaden Daniels. It'll be Marcus Mariota again. So MF, Denver and Washington, number 5 game of the week on Sunday night. Who you got? All right. I guess we'll have to wait for MF to come back. So, Bullock, why don't you take this one for a spin here? Denver and Washington on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I'll take this one for a spin. So, yeah, like you said, Terry McLaurin is back, but no Jaden Daniels. But the thing is, Denver's defense has played really well, and so yeah, I mean, it's. I still think this should be a good one, but I think Denver will eke it out and win this. So, give me the Broncos to win this one. It's yours, Florio.
Denver has rolled out of its bye week with one of the best records in the league, but this team has 2 main issues: penalties and turnover margin. Coach Sean Payton says that both are at the top of the list to repair. The Broncos enter this week as the most penalized team in the league with 113 overall, including declined penalties. The defense is the most penalized in the league with 46, and cornerback Riley Moss is tied for second most in the league overall. The Broncos are also -3 in turnover margin, the worst of any division leader. After a 5-game stretch in which Washington faced top 10 offenses in both points and yards, the Commanders' defense was much more sound in their overtime loss to Miami before the bye. Can the Commanders build on that against an offense ranked 16th in scoring and 14th in points? Washington played a season-low 5 snaps of man coverage against Miami. That could continue as Denver quarterback Bo Nix ranks 26th in QBR versus zone coverage and has thrown 5 interceptions against that look. He ranks 7th versus man coverage. The Broncos have overcome a deficit in each of their 8 games during their winning streak, tied with the 1980 Atlanta Falcons for the longest streak of wins when trailing in each game in NFL history. Decent FPI here. It's only 59%, but that's still a good enough one for me. 59% going with Denver. I'm going with Denver as well. 27-17, give me Denver to defeat Washington on Sunday night. MF, Denver and Washington, Sunday night, number 5 game of the week. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going with Denver as well. I just feel like Denver's just a wagon right now. You know, they were one of the pleasant surprises so far up in this league, and I just don't have much faith in Washington. I kind of feel like they're not as good, and yeah, I think Denver wins it. So nothing more to say. And Anthony, I believe it's the Monday nighter, the last game of the night.
Yes, sir. And MF, we're going to have you lead off on this one since Bullock took the leadoff spot to
Yeah, that's fine.
to cover.
That's fine.
All right. Monday Night Football, 8:15 on ESPN. The New York Giants squaring off against Michael Bullock's New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lisa Salters, Laura Rutledge. They'll be in Foxborough. New England opening up as a 7.5-point favorite. New England leads the regular season series 7-5. 2023 in New York, the Giants won that game 10-7. Last meeting in Foxborough, 2019, New England had their way 35-14. The Giants have not won in New England since their Super Bowl year of 2011, ironically, which was against New England. So that was a 24-20 win in 2011. So MF, final game of the night. The New York Giants, Jackson Dart is back for the Giants. That's the good news. But you're going to Foxborough against the new and improved New England Patriots.
Yes, absolutely. They're playing absolutely lights out. One of the best teams in the league right now. I kind of feel like New England should win this game. I think it should be a I'm not going to say comfortable win, but they should do do their due diligence. I think they should get this game and get the job done. So yeah, I'm in total confidence that the Patriots should win this game, and there's really nothing more to add. So Michael Bullock, it is yours.
Bullock, we hear 9 wins. Do I hear 10?
I think you're going to hear 10 wins in a row for the Patriots, and it's not going to be a comfortable win. I mean, I would say maybe like a 10.
That's all right. I think MF might have gone for the night. So go ahead, Bullock. Bullock, are you there? Oh, all right. Bullock's mic is on. I mean, all right, Bullock.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Yeah, let me finish up here.
Giants and Patriots.
I think it's going to be 10 wins in a row for them. I mean, I would say it's not going to be a comfortable win. I would say maybe more of a 10, maybe a 2-touchdown win. I don't expect it to be a full-on blowout. But either way, they'll get it done. So you have the final say, Florio.
This will be the Giants' first game with new defensive coordinator Charlie Bolin, who takes over for the recently fired Shane Bowen. The expectation is the switch may bring a more aggressive approach at the line of scrimmage, whether it's with more blitzes or at least the threat of pressure. Perhaps the Giants see an opportunity to attack Patriots quarterback Drake May and their makeshift offensive line. Edge rusher Brian Burns said he does seem a bit poised, maybe a little bit too poised in the pocket. With starting left tackle Will Campbell on injured reserve due to a right knee injury, and starting left guard Jared Wilson facing longer odds to suit up due to a right ankle sprain, the Patriots will start a different top offensive line for the third time in 13 games. 4-year veteran Ben Brown would be Wilson's replacement, while coach Mike Vrabel would choose between 4-year veteran Vidarian Lowe and rookie Marcus Bryant out of the 7th round at left tackle. Vrabel said the plan is to go through the week of practice with every player preparing as if they are a starter. The Patriots' 9-game winning streak, after winning a total of 4 games last season, is tied for the third longest single-season winning streak in NFL history by a team that won 4 or fewer games in the previous season. And Bullock is right to have a small little concern because the FPI is going with New England, but it's almost similar to Buffalo, but it's just a little bit more. 56%. Only 56% going with New England in the FPI, but still, it's going to be New England. The Giants could give them fits. I could see it going into the 4th, but I think New England might put it away with a late score. So I'm going to go with New England to win this one as well. 31-21. Give me the Patriots to defeat the Giants, and that will put the bow on this special crossover edition. We had a little bit of Talking Wrestling TXN, and we combined it with TXN Sports World, and that will put the bow on this special Week 13 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in, as always. We'll be back with you again tomorrow night around that 10:30 threshold tomorrow night over on MF's channel, Brace Fan 95, as we will have our recap of the Survivor Series. Survivor Series War Games. We'll have the recap of that tomorrow night. And then Tuesday night, right back here on the Tone 25, we start a new week with Ridiculously Raw. Monday Night Raw, the fallout from Survivor Series, NXT, their go-home show for Deadline, and we preview Thursday Night Football. Good one in the NFC. The Dallas Cowboys squaring off against the Detroit Lions from Ford Field on Amazon Prime Video Thursday night. We'll get into that. Thursday night, our season finale of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday. Championship week. The conference championships, the power conferences, and any conference championship game that features a top 25 team. We'll get into that on Thursday. And then 1 week from tonight, the Week 14 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. The final bye week. This is the last bye week. The final bye weeks will be with the Carolina Panthers, the New England Patriots, the New York Giants, and the San Francisco 49ers. We'll recap the Cowboys and the Lions. Games of note next week. The Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons, worth a look. The huge game in the AFC and the AFC North. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Perhaps the game of the week next week. The Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field for the NFC North. The Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars, big game in the AFC South. We've also got the Houston Texans going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And on Sunday Night Football, and a good Monday night matchup, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Chargers. So the notable games we'll get into next week. And that is it. So until tomorrow night for our Survivor Series recap show over on MF's channel for Fan 95, this is Anthony Florio here on behalf of all of us here at TXN Sports World. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, Michael Bullock, and always and forever our First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Saturday. And until tomorrow night for our Survivor Series recap show, you've been watching the Week 13 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and streaming.com. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.